fellas, welcome to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are doing a short video for your fine Saturday evening or morning. I'm recording in the morning. It's 11 o'clock. I slept for like, I don't know how long, because if you remember the previous video, if you didn't watch, I spent 24 hours up before work. And well, I did work, stayed up all night cleaning the house because I couldn't sleep, which, by the way, did a complete rearranging of the house. So I woke up this morning, I'm like, where am I? Because I moved, like, my second living room has so much more space after cleaning up. That being said, just as a TDLR, I did go, thanks to your guys' support, the channel support, we got quite a bit in funding from YouTube. And so I have taken all of that because I told you guys that I would try to use anything from YouTube to support the channel. So I spent almost $1,000 on new equipment to set up an entire section in my second living room that is dedicated to skits. I'm gonna have a whole green screen. Everything's gonna be set up, and I'm gonna try to make it as high quality as possible. And what I mean is, like, I do high quality skits to a certain extent, but what I want to do is to continue to improve on the skits, but also implement them in even react videos. Like, I'll just kind of like ruin the surprise. My thought was to do, like, if it was a situation where I'm reacting to something that's just stupid or maybe funny, do like a small skit making a joke out of it. I'm thinking like comedy central skits, right? Like Key and Peele, right? You just really small, funny, stupid skits. Not to that quality, right? Like, I wish I could do that, but I mean small little skits, bite size, to go into videos. Just add some flavor, add some uniqueness to the videos. And sometimes skits do a better job of making a joke than me like verbally just talking about what we're talking about, right? I don't know. I'm trying to spitball and get creative, and that's just me. Like, someone who kind of evolved through creativity. I know this video's intro's long, but we'll get to it because most of you are here for me anyways, because this is gonna be a topic we're talking about that you have to like Magic the Gathering to give a shit. So you're nerds, I'm nerds, we're here to have a good time. But in general, for those that are still watching, and I'll repeat this maybe a couple times, a couple videos, but the goal is to improve the quality throughout the year, and just to let me be more creative. And one of the pain points of why I'm not nearly as creative and I don't like to do much reviews is I have to reset. I have to take everything apart, move it, and after a long day of work, it sounds really lazy, and it is extent. When I get off work, I have to do chores. Which is fine. I'm not bitching, because this is like, this is life, right? But this is supposed to be a hobby, right? So that's the thing. This is a hobby, and when it starts becoming a chore or work trying to get things set up, it's no fun. So how do we make it fun again? We remove the chore process, and allows me to jump in. I have everything set up there. I record. I bring the SD card. I plug it into the computer. I'm done. I don't do anything fancy, except maybe bring my laptop to plug. No, actually, I don't even need my laptop. Actually, I do. I need my laptop to pick up the voice, which I can just use one program or on my laptop to record from the mic that I use, or my little mics with. I grab it all the way over here with this little thing. I can grab this and use this. This is what I use when I'm not using my Go XLR. I use this as a cheap little condensed, it could be used, right? That's the goal. Putting it closer. So that's the goal, right? Just so we're clear, we're jumping into it. Sorry, the very long intro, but this is probably not going to be a very long video. So yeah, we're 4 minutes in. That's actually a par for an intro. But you guys come here, watch me. So if you don't like my intros, well, you're in the wrong channel. You're in the wrong channel. The link, I'll try to put the link down below for the article itself. But we are talking about something that I don't talk about Magic that much. I've opened a couple packs, sets, boxes before. I need to do it again. I always would love to have that set up with like a camera like they do in open packs, but opening cards are just expensive, and it's just cheaper to buy outright the cards that you want. No, I just, that's what I tend to do, is I just buy like for my TCG, I buy cards if I make a deck for my kids to play, or I just buy the standard, beginner decks. It's just cheaper. But when we're talking about cheaper, Magic has a problem. And I think this is also something possibly, I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh very much. I just know it's absurd to even, like, I bought a couple sets in the new decks, and it is keyword vomit. Like, I wanted to teach my kids how to play in TCG. You need a freaking PhD. Like, I have a master's degree, and I get a headache looking at that shit. I don't know. You have to have Adderall, or maybe, I don't know. Like, you have to be hardwired to know what the fuck is going on with Yu-Gi-Oh. I prefer the basics, the classics. Like, take me back. Like, I'm going to try to make the classic decks so my students can play OG Yu-Gi-Oh. But the problem that we are seeing specifically in Magic, which is what I play, is that they are cranking out so many fucking sets. Like, this is a problem with a lot of the community, is that they crank it. It is greedy. They're here for money, and now they're being sued. That's right. Lawsuit claims Hasbro misled investors regarding sales of controversial Magic the Gathering anniversary set. That's not it. There's multiple things going on here. A new lawsuit filed by shareholders of Hasbro against the company and its directors alleged that company leaders had mismanaged Magic the Gathering by overprinting sets of cards. I thought this, obviously I don't talk about Magic the Gathering very often, but this is I thought this, like, they just crank it, and it's become so like, when I started playing Magic, they had like certain rotations, we'll look in a minute, where you got to enjoy each set. You really, like, I used to go to like LFGs. I used to play with my best friend. Hell, we used to go at midnight. I go work at Walmart, and we come back, like, I'd get off and I'd meet them right down the street at our local Jack in the Box. And we would sit there and order like 20 something fucking tacos. God, now I don't want to order tacos, but it's snowing outside. But like, I would order tacos, and then we would just sit there and play like regular standard, like, I wouldn't say standard. We played Magic, right? We'd play whatever the fuck we wanted. We didn't play like it. We played whatever we wanted. Make a deck, and it was usually the most recent, decks. We'd have cards, and then previous, right? So maybe modern, I guess you would say, with the new stuff. But I remember playing, I got into Magic before Avacyn, that block of Avacyn, Innistrad, the Innistrad set. What was the, I don't remember the Avacyn set, but I got into Innistrad. My best friend loved it. He loves werewolves. I got into vampires. I'm the vampire guy. We'd had the classic Twilight standoff where he hated my vampires and I hated his werewolves. Good fucking times. And then we also had another friend at that time. He's no longer a friend, but at that time, a friend of our group. And we would sit there and play back and forth. Fucking good time. And you got to enjoy every set. And then we had Return to Ravnica. Fantastic. Loved it. Boros for life, baby. And is it? Boros, is it? But they've changed things. I just don't go to LFGs anymore because cards are fucking expensive. They print so many damn sets that buying boxes just don't feel like, unless it's a set that the last set I bought was the Phyrexian Invasion set. All will be one or something, whatever. And I have never been more disappointed, not only in the backstory, but also just the overall quality of like the cards themselves. Like, there's some bangers, but it felt so rushed, and there wasn't time to really enjoy the set. Like, it felt like we just, like, I don't know. It's so disappointing, and I'm glad it wasn't the Eldrazi set. Eldrazi's are my favorite. I don't know if that says anything about me as a person. The Eldrazi's are my favorite. Absolutely my favorite part. But there has been a shift in Magic where they just hustle through everything. You don't have time to sit there and enjoy anything, and it sucks. It really be sucking. I just realized that the chat window is up and I'm not recording live. I'm a professional, guys. Professional. So this is a problem from a fan who plays Magic. So to see that people who now are financially, in league with Hasbro are now pissed off about it makes me, and I'm sure a lot of people, happy, because then maybe if they're successful, we'll see some changes, because the only way that these companies, when they get money in their pocket, will stop being greedy is if you take away the money from their pocket for being greedy. There's hope. There's hope. All right, so we got quite notably that Hasbro leadership concealed the true reason that its widely criticized, incredibly expensive Magic the Gathering 30th anniversary set was pulled from sales within an hour of its initial release. I've been talking for a minute, so we're going to keep reading. I'll circle back to the 30th anniversary and my thoughts on that. The lawsuit filed by Rhode Island earlier this week is filed by shareholders Joseph Chronocone and Alton McGlone. What names are these? Against Hasbro CEO Christian Cox. Well, he is a cock. A number of fellow company directors and Hasbro itself. Whoa! Wait, what? Hasbro itself is fucking suing? Like, bro. Oh, wait, no, against. These two are suing Hasbro and some other directors and Christian Cox, the CEO. Okay, sorry, I'm not dyslexic. Reading the thing tells you the thing. That's the standard of Magic. Reading the thing tells you the thing. I'm a natural Magic player. You can tell just by the fact that I didn't read the thing correctly. So these two guys are like, fuck you, fuck the horse you ride on, and fuck those dudes, those side dudes, because they're just some directors. Specifically, the shareholder plaintiffs claimed that under Cox's leadership, Hasbro has been printing far too many Magic the Gathering sets, thereby reducing the value of existing sets. Yeah, I would say that so just as a if you're just watching me and you don't fuck with Magic Gathering does kind of what Yu-Gi-Oh cranks out sets. I don't know how active they are, and I don't know how active Pokemon are, but I mean, you can clearly see how the difference is. And we'll break this down in a minute, but they're cranking out sets back to back to back to back to back. And so the way that Hasbro has tried to make Magic the Gathering still lucrative is now they've started doing serialized, like they've had rares, they have alts, they have the shiny alts or the oil alts, and then they had like the serialized, which are pretty much the rarest card you can get, because there's only a certain number of them, like 250 or 10, or the One Ring, which there's only one, which is owned by what's his name? Oh no, I don't listen to his music, but real chill dude. Fuck. You all know exactly what I'm talking about. Singer. I think he's a rapper. I'm not for sure, but he's very chill. He plays a lot of Magic. He has it, right? It sold for like millions of dollars or $1 million, something. It was very expensive. Well, that's how Hasbro is making their money. It's like, we're going to put these sets. People are going to spend a shit ton on these boxes, these collector's boxes, for a chance at a serialized number. And that's how they kind of circle around shoving out so much content. It's like, we're just going to create FOMO that will directly drive up the prices of all the cards and make people want to buy boxes. It's all good. So we have the chart right here. This is bad. Some of it is being covered because of me. Like, I started where it is in Innistrad. Let me see if I see your symbol right here. I'm missing it. Where is it here? No. Right here. There's Innistrad. This is where I started. I started right here and led into this. Yeah, here's Avacyn. There's Avacyn set right there. So we got right here, and you could tell that the sets were pretty consistent. Like, yeah, they grew a little bit at the maximum. And you gotta think some of these are different sets. Like the blue sets are non-booster products. So that is a big deal. Non-booster products, these are not like main sets. So then we have some joke sets. But yeah, the blue, if you remove the blue, when you look at core sets, even the digital releases, you remove those, it's actually not a lot. Like really, it's really not a lot. You remove all that, and then you have some commander obviously in between. But now you're seeing a lot more fluff. 48 secret rare drops, which you can't see because the camera's in the goddamn way. There you go. Now you can see it. Yeah, 48 secret drops. There was 46, 26, and then like 2019 there were 7. 2020, 26, 21, 46, and then 22. And we're in 2025, and it's even worse than this, I believe. So yeah, it is cheaper to just buy the cards that you want. I kid you not. It is even cheaper to bulk buy. If you go to a seller, usually you can get discounts on like eBay for buying a bunch of cards. Like you get free shipping and stuff like that. Like it is so cheap unless you really want to have that flavor. Like I said, I bought the Phyrexian set because I love Phyrexians. Eldrazi are my favorite, but I love Phyrexians. And I bought all 3 boxes from all 3 sets of the new Phyrexians, all for one series. Or I keep saying all for one. I don't even know what. I don't think that's the set. I'm thinking My Hero Academia. I don't know. All will be one. I don't know. As noted in the lawsuit, Wizards of the Coast released more sets than ever before in 2020, which served to double the revenue of the Wizards segment of Hasbro between 2018, 2021, and in 2022. Hasbro released over 5 times as many Magic sets it had in 2016. It is worth noting that both charts above the lawsuit itself are somewhat generous in what they consider to be a Magic set. For example, the lawsuit also claims Wizard released 39 separate Magic sets in 2020. That strikes me as a little high and more likely includes Secret Lair collaborations. I mean, it clearly says right here, Secret Lairs. Like if you're reading the thing, tells you the thing. In addition to every other possible kind of set. Regardless how you count them, it is true that the card release volume has gone up lately. As anyone who's grouchy about the number of universes beyond collaborations, let's not get into that can of worms. I do like the Final Fantasy set. I did like the Jurassic Park set, but I mean, I still agree that this is becoming. It used to be where you could get like a Transformer card, and it was a fun little thing, but it wasn't something that was serious. Now, some of the best cards are the universes beyond. Like looking at you, Sephiroth. And that Hasbro leadership is only releasing this many to get quick cash to cover up shortfalls elsewhere in the Hasbro business. The lawsuit itself is 76 pages long, but there are 2 major accusations that stand out. One is an allegation that Hasbro management used something called parachute strategy. Allegedly, leadership plotted to parachute in new Magic sets whenever there was a shortfall somewhere else in Hasbro. Whoa. These parachute sets initially consisted of master sets, largely reprints with low production costs. However, as it grew, more sets got involved, including the aforementioned Secret Lair collaboration and the Commander Legends Battle Baldur's Gate set. Per the lawsuit, as such, the explosive growth in the Magic business noted just prior to and during the relevant period, September 2021 and 2023, was in fact the result of parachute strategy. Notably in 2022, such parachute Magic sets accounted for 46% of all Magic releases. Dang. The second, and perhaps even spicier accusation, is the allegation that Hasbro management essentially faked being out of stock of the controversial, extremely expensive Magic the 30th Anniversary set in order to encourage demand. If you're not familiar, this was the unhinged $1,000 box that contained 4 booster packs of non-tournament legal reprints of original Magic cards, some of which Wizards has sworn it would never reprint. This box garnered massive criticism due to its price, the fact that the cards weren't even usable, and the seemingly broken promise on part of Wizards not to reprint classics such as Black Lotus. It is funny. They were selling you proxies. You can buy a Black Lotus for less than $9 as a proxy. I would know because I bought some. I bought it, yes, because I played with friends who don't give a shit. They're like, make your decks as broken as fucking possible based on whatever you're trying to do, and let's go fucking ham. Like, they do not give a shit. Like, turn 2 5 mana, easy. We fucking turbo that shit. We are competitive. We would just be absolutely. And by the way, it's not even Commander that we're playing. We're just playing one-on-one, and we'd play some fast mana games, have some fun. Like, especially with werewolves versus vampires, that shit gets crazy real fast. But yeah, overall, you're paying you're paying $1,000 for proxies that you could pay like $3-4 for and get any card you want. By the way, it is now acceptable to have a proxy of Black Lotus because you could just and say, hey, I'm stupid enough to spend $1,000. Do you mind if I use my 30th anniversary cards for this? Even, not a tournament, obviously, but if you're playing with some strangers that don't care, like, now you could just, instead of just use, you won't be shamed for using proxies. You'll just be shamed for being a dumbass spending $1,000. Now, depending on which you prefer, because some people refuse to play proxies. They'll let you play with the 30th anniversary set because they're true Magic cards from Wizards. So you pay $1,000 just to do that for those people, or you could just make a proxy and lie that they're the official proxies from Hasbro. I don't know. Either way, it's still funny. According to testament from several members of leadership shared in the complaint. By the way, again, this is fucking stupid. If you spend $1,000, what is wrong with you? You have no value. And I can see why people are pissed off about Black Lotus, because they're trying to circumvent the statement that they would never reprint the old stuff like Black Lotus because it's value. And they try to make it like special background, like, oh, you can't use it, it's not tournament legal. Like, that tournaments do equate value, but it also is in value, and the fact is, do people want to play it in general? Tournament value obviously does set some, but there are cards that are popular not just because of tournaments, but because they're just good, they're fun, and people want to have the best experience. Winning is fun, it's enjoyable, so people are going to spend money for that. Who would have known? According to testament from several members of the leadership shared in the complaint, following the negative reaction from players at this announcement, management made a plan to pause sales of it if it became apparent that they were weaker than anticipated. The company said the sales has concluded and the product is currently unavailable for purchase in a post on X, implying they had sold out, effectively making it look like the product was far more popular than it actually had been. In the lawsuit, plaintiff, yeah, this is scummy corpo shit. Like, let's be honest, they're greedy, they're scummy. This is no surprise. Plaintiff accused the company of claiming the product was out of stock. What happened to this unsold cards after sales were paused then? The lawsuit goes on. Former employee 6 likewise stated that the company paused its sales of the Magic Anniversary set less than an hour after its release, only selling a portion of its available inventory. FE further noted that shortly after the set's release, he and other Wizard employees viewed photographs of Magic Anniversary sets dropped off at a Texas landfill alongside old Magic products. I need to go to Texas and find this landfill. The plaintiffs are asking the judge to rule that they, as shareholders, are adequate representatives of Hasbro and therefore can sue on behalf of the company itself, and that each of the individual defendants failed their fiduciary duties. That's a new word even for me. They are also asking Hasbro be awarded damages from each individual defendant, and that the shareholders be given significantly more power on the board of the company. Oh, this is a power play. IGN has reached out to Hasbro for comment. This is far from the first time shareholders have expressed displeasure with Hasbro's handling of Magic. Mentioned multiple times in a suit is a deep dive done by American Bank of America back in 22 on this exact issue of overprinting, which prompted analysis to claim Hasbro was hurting its long-term value with so many frequent release sets. This year's first set, Lorwyn Eclipse, is doing all right at least. Well, yeah, because it's a core set, and Lorwyn hasn't been revisited in many years. Like, of course, people are going to be excited about Lorwyn. When you neglect your core universes, your core universe and other planes of existence that's been part of the story, not the universes beyond. Yeah, people are going to be a little excited to see something that isn't SpongeBob. Having seemingly sold out in most places, amid excitement at a return to a beloved plane from Magic's history, it's ever got a host of super expensive rare cards, topped off with a showcase fracture foil version of Bloom Tender that's going over $600 at the time of this was written. That's how you get money. That's how you print money. You literally just make good cards that people are excited for. In a core set, you take your time, you could still make money. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. Anyways, I'm Mr. Game Counselor. That's my thoughts. Good. Hold these. It's time that companies like this that are fucking greedy and they don't give a shit about their actual customers. Because it's funny. I didn't buy the Spider-Man set, but it was probably the worst set that I think I've heard and seen. Like, you could get so many cards for cheap because no one fucking cared about that set. And it sucks. I unironically, if they did less sets, I would actually buy the boxes more. But because they're cranking out so many sets, I just don't feel like, because I used to collect the boxes. I used to have I have all my Magic cards. I used to have like rows of the different sets. I'd have the posters that would come from the boxes. I hang them up. Like, me and my friend used to do that, and it was exciting. And I used to collect the dice from each set. Like, it was fun. It was a hobby. It was enjoyable. And now it's like, damn, you need to give up your freaking paycheck for about a year just to be able to, keep up. If you're broke, just say it. Like, I will be broke buying Magic. Shit. Anyways, I'm Mr. Game Counselor. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Till next time, game out.